God, Flair was so good.
Unbelievable.
And now he's such a pain in the ass.
He,
Unbelievable.
he doesn't even know he doesn't even know he's a pain in the ass.
I've got to give Flair credit, okay?
Oh, wow. Listen to this.
Okay. He certainly does have fun backstage now.
Oh, there ain't no doubt. He called me yesterday and said, as soon as he said, "Did you see it?" I go, "Yeah, I saw it." That was something else, wasn't it? We
Yeah.
talked about the glass. And then he goes, "Oh, and my God, have you talked to Will Ospreay today?" I go, "No, I don't regularly talk to Will Ospreay. No." And he goes, "Man, I went and saw him after his match and he was laying down." And I said, "Brother, you were all my son-in-law has told me about and so much more. My goodness."
Mm-hmm.
Because for years, whenever anybody would say his name, he would go, "Who is that now?" And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, "Rick, you got to watch his stuff. You're going to love it." And even in Huntsville, I was like, he's like, "So you know what they're doing on the show tonight?" I said, "Well, I know Osprey's here." He goes, "Who?" And I go, "Dude, he's like, he's done, he's become like the Ric Flair of the modern era, especially like over in Japan. A lot of people think he's the best wrestler in the world and has been for the last few years." He goes, "Is he wrestling tonight?" I go, "I don't think so, but he'll wrestle at the pay-per-view." And Rick just called me yesterday to just go, "Man, can you believe that?" Yeah. He was so excited. Rick was so excited about the show. He goes,
Oh.
"Man, I know WrestleMania is around the corner, but they can't hold a candle to that. My God."
Yeah. I saw Rick after the show. They had a wait a minute, there's cover. There's one, two. They had a special bar set up for us, late night bar, cash bar, in a one of those ballrooms. And Blair was in there. He wanted me to have a drink with him, and I just circled in there before I went to my room to say hello to them. And I told him I can't do it, Rick. I'm sorry. And of course, he didn't like that. But first thing he said, "How about that Will Ospreay?" I
Yeah.
said, "Dude, here's the fact about the whole show. Will Ospreay and Konosuke Takeshita stole that show."
No doubt.
Yeah. And I remember thinking, "Holy shit, we got a world title match next."
You got to follow that.
How are they gonna follow that?
Yeah.
How are they gonna freaking follow it?
I
And
almost
Will and
I thought the show would open with it, if I'm honest with you.
yeah, right.
I just thought,
Yeah.
hey, they're going to get that one out of the way because that's the show stealer. I mean, just when you see it on paper, you know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so and Will and I talked for a pretty length of time backstage, and I was talking to him about what he did and how he stole the show and how he's feeling and all that.
Look
'Cause
at the
he's
crowd,
really,
man. They're going nuts
yeah.
thinking he's about to put the Scorpion Death Lock on.
Oh, and was going to get up. Elegante pulled him back.
This isn't the finish, though, Tony. You can keep telling your story.
No, that's okay. Oh, here comes
the Horsemen. Barry Windham,
Yeah.
Sid, and Arn. One of my favorite versions of the Horsemen.
All right.
I know a lot of my old school friends, they absolutely hate when I say that. But when I was a kid, that was my favorite version. Sid looked like a cartoon wrestler. Man, Barry Windham is such a badass, and Arn Anderson, too. Goodness gracious. What a great group. I like the Luger version, too, but that version right there is my favorite.
Pretty good booking, having Steiner and Orndorff hold them off.
Yes.
JYD hold them off, whatever. I like that. I love how Blair calling a great match, buddy.
Yeah, so I guess that's going to be the takeaway that all the wrestling sites pick up today, that Ric Flair really impressed with Will Ospreay.
Well, fucking duh.
Oh, look at that. Dives through the ropes, put his feet on the ropes. Scott Steiner knocks him off. That was pretty slick. I hadn't seen Rick do that before. That was nice. Yeah, if you haven't already, I mean, I know that there's some tribalism that exists in wrestling, but if you're only going to watch two things from the pay-per-view, I still think it's worth the bucks to watch the Sting last match and to watch Ospreay and Takeshita. Go out of your way to see it. Flair's like, there's no way WrestleMania can compete with that. I don't know if I'd go so far as to say all that, but you saw one of the match of the year candidates in Takeshita and Will Ospreay, and you saw a moment that you'll never forget. It was very emotional, that match with Sting, and It checked all the boxes. I think that's when wrestling is at its best, when there's something for everybody. That modern style that's hard hitting, that strong style, that fast pace, that innovative offense, and then the drama and the emotion and the nostalgia of the main event.
Did you notice when
Here we
Sting was
go.
doing his
Here we go. Here we go.
Sting's got it. Inside cradle. Can this be all? Yes! A new heavyweight champion of the world has been crowned. Sting has upset Ric Flair to win the heavyweight championship of the world. The Stinger has done it. The Stinger has done it.
Sting is the winner. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner and new world heavyweight champion, Sting.
Man, what a big moment that was. What a pop. What a celebration. Sorry for laying out. I just wanted everybody to be able to hear that. That was awesome.
No, you're right. I just had noticed they took a shot of the fans inadvertently.
Yes.
Before that attempt of the Stinger splash. And this is the shot they missed right there.
So he hits
the
the
knee.
banged up knee, which is why this match was delayed anyway. Flair thinks, oh, now's my chance. Now we go to school. He's going to get ready to set up the figure 4. And as soon as he goes to twist, immediately Sting grabs him, does the inside cradle. 1, 2, 3. Sting is your new world champion. And let's remind everybody that this is the first time Flair's dropped the belt in a couple of years. I mean, he won it back from Ronnie Garvin, but since the Ronnie Garvin experiment, which ended in November of '87, this has pretty much been Flair's title.
Right.
And for it to go, no disrespect to Ron Garvin, but to Sting, this felt like a passing of the torch more so than say the Ron Garvin match did to me.
Sure. It was, and it was a passing of a torch. I mean, let's think about 88 that I was talking about. And Sting arrives on the scene and Flair makes him a star, to right here where Flair made him the world champion. So
I think this is when they're going to float down. There it is. They have his
Yeah.
face that they're going to set on fire in the background. It's very 1980s, but it's pretty cool. Clearly that was the idea. They told him, hey, you got to get up the ramp after you win the match. And there he is.
Yeah.
And he was, of course, going to do an interview here and going to really put over the former champion, Ric Flair, in a way that you didn't often hear a lot of baby faces. And it's with Gordon Soley. Let's track it here.
Congratulations, Sting.
My mouth is really dry, so try and understand what I'm going to say. Ric Flair is the greatest world champion of all time. Me, on the other hand, I'm a champion tonight and tonight only. I've got some big shoes to fill in Ric Flair's shoes. Although we may have our differences, all I have to say is I'm going to do the best that I can do. And that's it.
This has to be the happiest moment of your life, wasn't it?
Ric Flair wasn't champion 6 times with the help of the Horsemen every time. He's truly a great champion. I know you don't want to hear it, maybe some of you, but it's true. It's a big accomplishment for the Stinger in his short career. Thank you very, very much, everybody.
Okay, thank you, Stinger, the new NWA heavyweight champion.
I mean, think about that. This is supposed to be a me exhibition here, but that's not what they're doing. He's putting over the Nature Boy. And I just think that says a lot about Sting.